Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning, the 22nd of August. I believe that's the date. It is week 7 of the NFL season, officially a third of the way through. I don't even know why I'm so hyped. I'm so freaking tired this morning. It was a long night. But you know what? We're here because this is what we do. We answer your start-sit fantasy football questions. Myself, Joshua Hudson. I'm with Joe Zollo, the host of this show, and one of our club fantasy contributors, Joe Worth. Bring all your questions because literally, if you guys don't ask us questions, we're just sitting around waiting. This show is for you, so let's kick it off.
Thanks. So it's the 22nd of August, not October.
Did I really say August? Wow.
Yeah.
I knew there was something that I was screwing up.
Yep. I was pulling up the injury report, saw a question on Twitter, and I heard August. I'm like, huh, weird. 7 weeks into football, and it's August 22nd. Interesting.
I'm telling you, Joe, this is why you should not let me do these things.
Oh, it's honestly, at this point, it's just comedy. So I'm very excited. Welcome into Start Sit Different Day. It's already a fucking mess, people. We're not even 2 minutes in. I got home at 3 a.m. I'm sure Josh had the same thing. Except Josh was working. I was enjoying myself. Josh was working. Joel, what time did you get home last night?
I was home at about 6 p.m. and in bed by about 11:30.
Wow.
I'm good to go.
Absolute nice.
Absolute party animal over there.
You got that right.
Yeah. All right, we're going to run through the injuries real quick here. Also, biggest news, Christian McCaffrey no longer a Panther. So,
yeah, we got
hooray.
The trade news. Thank God.
Yep.
He's been saved.
Yes.
Now if only he plays this week, which I'm not banking on. So.
Yeah, that would be tough. Baker Mayfield and Carson Wentz are both out. Taylor Heineke will start, and Mayfield was out last week. So have they officially announced the starter? PJ Walker still?
PJ Walker.
Okay. Wow, what is the under on that Carolina game? Because I would smash the shit out of that. Aaron
Especially
Rodgers,
because Tampa's looked like crap so far this year.
yes, I would
39.5.
smash it. Not even a question. Smash it. I saw a tweet. If you bet $100 on every NFL under so far this year, you'd be up $1,500. It's crazy. Yeah. Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Mac Jones, all questionable. Running backs, J.K. Dobbins, Josh Kelly out. Oh, thank God. Austin Eckler, all the carries, please. Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift, Mark Ingram, all questionable. McCaffrey,
so real
obviously.
quick with McCaffrey, obviously, I know, that's just the trade. It's not injury related. They've talked about maybe only red zone packages. San Francisco goes against Kansas City. How often do we think they're actually going to be in the red zone?
I mean, Kansas City's defense isn't exactly the 85 Bears.
They played well this year.
Yeah, and can you change up your game?
Buffalo to 24 points.
In KC.
All right, I'll pose this question then. If you roster Christian McCaffrey, are you playing him anticipating that he's going to get 3 or 4 trips to the red zone?
You want to do a start sit question? How about that? Because I have Christian McCaffrey. I have Christian McCaffrey. And I have DeAndre Swift as well, who's questionable, so that's really hurting. He's currently on my bench. I have in my lineup currently Kenneth Walker, Christian McCaffrey, Jacoby Myers, Cortland Sutton, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay? So if I were to sit McCaffrey, would you start, if he's healthy, DeAndre Swift? You're probably going to play DeAndre Swift. Yeah. But Alec Pierce, Rashad Bateman, Drake London. I also have Jamal Williams if DeAndre Swift isn't healthy, but
I would start Pierce over CMC this week. The target volume's been there for him, and Tennessee is trash.
Yeah, because I can do one running back and 4 receivers. So I don't know, but I mean, if you have the opportunity and there's a guy with volume, I would say yes. I mean, if McCaffrey plays, you have a really good chance against a.
I mean, I'm sitting McCaffrey in one league for Jeff Wilson.
Okay, that's fair. Well, Kansas City's run defense isn't good. I refuse to believe that run defense is good.
But I mean, realistically, how many snaps do we legitimately think that Christian McCaffrey is going to get this week?
I don't know.
And McSweet, you tuned in at the perfect time, buddy.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan isn't exactly the easiest coach to scheme week to week. So, I mean, it could be 2. It could be every single touch in the bag. So, I don't know. They also stole him from Carolina. So,
how many play calls can they have for him? Maybe a half a dozen. I mean, how many touches can you get off of that?
So
if he's even active.
Yeah, if he's even active. I get it, right? You got to learn a new playbook. If you call an inside zone run, what the fuck is the difference from Carolina to San Francisco? You're taking a hand, the blocking, but you're taking a hand. It doesn't change. If you're going to the left side, you put your right arm up. If you're going to the right side, you put your left arm up. Yep. And that's it. That's the only difference. An inside zone run is an inside zone run. A stretch play is a stretch play. A dive is a dive. The only thing that would be a halfback screen is a fucking halfback screen. What's the difference?
San Francisco doesn't really run much of, so.
No, exactly. But, okay, maybe he has to learn a play where he has to run a delayed Texas route, or he runs a swing pattern. All this, or maybe they spread him out wide. Who fucking knows? But, as a running back, I'm sorry. It doesn't seem to me to be rocket science for your quarterback to turn around and say, hey, halfback zone, left side. Make the play call for the other 10 guys in the huddle, and then look at McCaffrey and say,
a lot of times, too,
go
though,
left.
It's not necessarily about the play. It's the verbiage leading up to said play, because that typically is what changes with every team.
Oh, yeah.
How they call it. Yeah.
And if I'm Garoppolo, I'm saying, hey, top 3 running back in the league, maybe the best one when he's healthy. This is a play that we're going to run to the left. You do that. The extra 2 seconds in the huddle, I think you can handle that pressure.
Dude, Garoppolo's just jealous that he's not the most handsome man on the team anymore. Let's be honest. It's going to cause friction, I'm telling you.
Who knows? I mean, neither of them had the best hair, so it didn't even matter. Okay. More injuries. A lot of receivers, once again. Christian Watson, DJ Chark, De'Ami Brown, Elijah Moore, Josh Palmer, Julio Jones, Kadarius Toney, Kenny Golladay, Randall Cobb. It's cute that Ryan put Keenan Allen as questionable, but we all know he'll be out. Yeah. So all those guys are out. Keenan Allen's technically questionable, but we all know where that's heading. Tyler Lockett, Hunter Renfrow, Rashad Bateman, Jahan Dotson, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones, Matt Collins, Kyle Phillips, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, all questionable.
They said Lockett's a true game time decision.
Yep.
That's the one that I know that really stood out.
Tight ends. Brait, Waller, Logan Thomas, all out. Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst, Brevin Jordan, all questionable. I know in my heart Mark Andrews will play, but I hope he doesn't because I'm playing against him this week. But I know in my heart he'll play. And then kicker, Dustin Hopkins, the man who played and kicked 4 field goals through a hamstring injury, but Keenan Allen can't run a goddamn route on that same hamstring injury. Out. So I love drafting Keenan Allen. Doggy. Okay, I will bring one up from Twitter because this is actually one that was asked a couple of them asked pretty quick. One wide receiver in a full PPR, Deontay Johnson or Cortland Sutton? Josh.
Deontay Johnson. I'm staying far away from Cortland Sutton this week.
Okay. Joel.
Agreed. I don't want any part of that Denver offense. So I'll take my chances with Deontay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go Deontay. I mean, Kenny Pickett he's cleared, right? He's in. He's playing.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, not that it, I guess, matters either way. I think Deontay was actually better under Trubisky. So either way, still good. And then in need of a flex in a full PPR, Ramondre Stevenson against Chicago Monday night. Swift, if he's healthy, in Dallas. Foreman playing probably as 1A, 1B against Tampa. And then Melvin Gordon, who we are just not even going to add into this question. So Stevenson, Swift, or Foreman. Josh.
I mean, if Swift plays, that's who you're playing. You can 1,000% make an argument for Stevenson. I personally would try to get both Stevenson and Swift, but I'd rank them Swift, Stevenson, Gordon, Foreman. Lay down that list.
Okay. Joel?
I'm kind of leaning away from Swift. I don't think he's gotten a full practice in this week, and that's
he's been limited every day.
How much are they going to be able to run against Dallas? not much. They're going to be behind in that game. That's a bad script. I don't think they're going to give him.
Well, wouldn't
he's
that
not going to get
favor
full
Swift
workload.
though? Wouldn't that favor
how
Swift
many,
as a dump off?
it's not like Jamal Williams is rotted lettuce as a pass catcher. I don't think they're going to give him full snaps. I don't think he's healthy. If he was getting full practices, then it would definitely be Swift. I don't think he's healthy. So I don't think he's ready to come back. So I'm going to lean Stevenson, even though Damian Harris is back. I still think that's a better matchup.
Okay. Let's get to Jelly of the Month. What a name. Bye week flex. Jamal Williams. If Swift is not playing, Jamal Williams obviously a solid play. Deonta Foreman, Wan'Dale Robinson finding the end zone for the first time, or Rashad Bateman if he plays off injury. So, I mean, two people that we need to worry about injuries with. One in the actual guy, one in the guy who's ahead of him. Deonta Foreman, who is now being thrusted to a 1B type role with him and Chuba Hubbard. I don't really think anyone knows how that's going to shape out. And then Wan'Dale Robinson. Josh.
Give me Wan'Dale. They scripted a lot of plays for him last week. Had a touchdown, decent fantasy outing, and I just really right now I'm kind of shying away from Bateman. Jamal Williams we know is going to get usage, but to me, and I'll kind of piggyback off Joel. If you're scared of the Dallas run defense and you don't want to play Swift, why would you feel comfortable about playing Jamal Williams? But that's just kind of how I feel on this. So. Give me the usage with Wan'Dale. Jacksonville's defense has been kind of back and forth. I still don't think their secondary is all that great. So
It's
give me
not.
Wan'Dale. Yeah,
Okay.
give me Wan'Dale.
Joel.
I'll take Bateman. I think he's coming around. I think he's closer to healthy, and they missed him last week. They clearly missed him. You can't go into a game with Devin Duvernay as your number one receiver. Cleveland is very exploitable, so I'll take Bateman there.
I like Bateman if he's healthy because he's been sitting on what seems to be a non-serious injury for a couple weeks now. And I hate saying a non-serious injury. Obviously, he's injured. But it's not like he's come back from a torn labrum or a collarbone injury. Like,
it's not a Keenan Allen hamstring.
Yeah, hey. Don't joke about that, okay? A minorly pulled hamstring is very serious nowadays in the NFL. They take it more serious than a concussion.
Feels like it, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I don't want to say Wan'Dale Robinson. I really don't. I'm going to say Bateman, but sadly, if Bateman doesn't play, it is Wan'Dale Robinson. The Tampa Bay run defense is still really good, so Deonta Foreman this week is garbage. And... man, I mean, like, Dallas's run defense is still good. Right? Like, I mean...
they bottled up Sanders and Hurts fairly well last week.
Yeah, like, they're...
by any means.
They're... I feel like this year they have been more known for their run defense than their pass defense. Whereas I feel like in previous years you could run all over the Cowboys because they were dog shit. So... I don't really know. I mean, if you have Swift, you're playing Swift. He's just too good. But I will go Wan'Dale Robinson against my better judgment. I don't like Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't think the Giants. I think the Giants are not a 5-1 NFL football team.
They're road dogs this week to Jacksonville, which is surprising, but I mean that tells you what Vegas thinks of them.
Is Jacksonville's undefeated at home? I think. Or did they lose one?
No, they lost to Houston.
They did lose to Houston at home. Yeah, fucking division game. Yeah, they struggle against... It's crazy. They struggle against Houston. Now, granted, in previous years, they were the laughing stock of the NFL. But so is Houston, and they would still struggle against Houston, which is crazy. So, I don't know. I'm starting Jacksonville's defense, so in hopes that, there's nobody else on the waiver wire and I couldn't pick anybody up. So, I'm hoping Jacksonville's defense does well this week. Moving on to Elixir started Taysom Hill this week, feeling good. He had, again, at the tight end position, all we're asking for is a touchdown. But he didn't have much yardage, right? Am I missing that?
He had enough to get 12 points, depending on the league setting.
Really? How about that? Dog shit.
For a tight end,
For a tight end, you'll take it.
Yeah, right? I mean, granted,
100%.
the tight end you wanted was Juwan Johnson because he's actually running routes and catching passes.
I dropped him. Yeah, I had 3 tight ends. I'm like, I can drop him. I don't need Juwan Johnson. He scored
Honestly,
3 points.
My biggest worry with the whole narrative that Arizona sucks against tight ends, which is great and all, but if you don't really target and throw to your tight ends, does it matter? That was kind of my biggest issue with, the idea behind starting Juwan Johnson, because for the first half he had, I think, 1 catch, and then when everything just kind of went crazy in the second half, it was, all right, Juwan Johnson to the moon. So,
okay, we have another one from Elixirs. ETN or Foreman/Hubbard. I am probably just going to answer this for everybody because I don't think anyone wants to start a Carolina running back this week. It's ETN.
To the moon.
Yep.
Yeah.
That breakout is coming. I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming.
I really hope it's like you know what I hope it is? I hope it's a minorly pulled hamstring, so he's out for 9 weeks, and James Robinson's back at the top of the depth chart. That's what I hope. Kelly would like Mark Andrews to go to the 49ers. Don't think that's happening anytime soon, but they would have the most attractive offense, apparently, in her eyes. Can we give some love to Kyle Juszczyk, please? Come on.
We only do that when Jeff Greenwood is a guest.
Fullbacks deserve love.
Fullback champion there.
Fullbacks deserve love. Start 4 in a PPR. Bateman, Tyler Boyd. Where is Cincy this week? Why am I forgetting where they're playing?
Home against Atlanta.
Home against Atlanta. Oh, great matchup. Maybe not for Boyd, but good matchup. Kenyon Drake, who is home against Cleveland. Jerry Jeudy, home against the Jets. Aforementioned ETN, home against the Giants. Jeff Wilson in Kansas City. Josh.
ETN definitely. I'm going to go Wilson in a last hurrah and RIP to your brother and his Jeff Wilson season.
Season.
Yeah, it's coming to an end.
RIP to Elijah Mitchell. Yes.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go all 3 running backs: ETN, Wilson, and Drake, and probably Boyd just for the shootout potential. Atlanta seemingly keeps games close at least, so I don't love it because Chase and Higgins are both healthy, so that obviously that Boyd feels like the odd one out there.
Yeah.
But the potential's there, and I don't trust Bateman, and Judy's just god awful. So,
Joel.
I'm gonna start like Josh with ETN. I think he's the safest one on here. I do trust Bateman this week, so I'm gonna go with him as my 2. I'll take Boyd, like Josh said. I think there's some shootout potential there. I kind of don't like Drake because it sounds like they're going to just go full committee without Dobbins. That felt like his 1 week game of the year, and he'll never be heard from again. So I'll kind of default to Jeff Wilson as the last one. I think that's what Josh did, but I think I agree.
I have Kenyon Drake on my downside this week. So Bateman, Boyd, ETN, Wilson. I've been saying it since he entered the league. Jerry Jeudy can't catch the football. So just drop him because he's useless.
I'll bring this up from Kelly, and she does make a good point. Judy's going to have a week. If there's a week that he's going to do it with Sauce Gardner draped all over Cortland Sutton, this is the week for Jeudy. So
it's weird. So it is Saturday, August 22nd, and we're 7 weeks into the season. And also, Jerry Jeudy has played 2 years in the NFL, 1 year in the NFL. However long it's been. I mean, it feels like it's been...
This is his 3rd season, yeah.
Oh, okay. It feels like it's been eons since, people started saying, oh, this is the week. Oh, this is the week, guys. Oh, hold on. Cortland Sutton's getting draped. This is the week, everybody. This is the week. They play Indy. This is the week. They play bullshit team. This is the week. They play Houston. No, it's not happening. He's a terrible fucking player. He can't catch. His route running's the only thing he has going for him. Thank God when he's open, he still can't catch the football. Oh, and also, Russell Wilson can't throw to him. What are we doing?
Kelly wants a wager.
What is a good week? Because to me, a good week is he actually catches the ball. So,
4 for 60.
what's a good week? 30 yards and a touchdown? Because that's like 30% of the entire Broncos offense? I'm very confused. Oh, dog shit player. Absolute dog shit player. It's incredible. It's incredible people were telling this guy to be drafted earlier in the year. Incredible. I remember Josh or Ryan was on the Judy train, and
that was all Ryan. That was not.
Yes, I am so proud. We peer pressured Ryan into getting off the Jerry Judy train, rightfully so. From Czar, trade Pitts, Mixon, and Higgins for Kelsey, Pierce, and Keenan Allen. He already has Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey. How did you get Jonathan Taylor and Christian? If you drafted them,
could be a trade. Yeah,
I was gonna say if you drafted them.
I mean, unless the draft he was in was so far off the CMC train and just let him fall.
I mean,
it had to have been a trade.
I mean, let's just say it's a 10-team league. You're drafting Jonathan Taylor at
Probably
1.
Yeah, I don't know.
How did McCaffrey fall to 20?
Yeah, that's had to have been a trade.
I mean, that would be unbelievable. But I mean, this is probably very quick in my opinion. It's the Travis Kelce side of the trade, Josh.
Why on earth would you want Keenan Allen right now?
I mean,
that's really
why would you want?
For me.
Why would you want Kyle Pitts when you could have
agree,
Travis Kelce?
If that's the case, would you not take Mixon and Higgins over Pierce and Keenan Allen right now?
I would take Kelce and
that's kind of where I'm at. Like,
I would take Kelce and
about
Pierce over Pitts, Mixon, and Higgins.
Kelsey's that damn good, but Higgins and Mixon, I think I would still go the Pitts side. I don't love it. Just yeah.
Okay, he traded Miles Sanders and Penny for Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, kudos to you, brother.
Wow.
Kudos to you.
Congratulations. Joey says enjoy the rest of your August. Back to the question.
Yes, sir!
Joel, what do you think here? I'm on the Kelce side.
Kelsey's the best player in the deal by far. If this is a 10-team league, do you really want to be starting Mixon and Higgins? I don't think so. So I just don't trust Pitts. I love him as a player, but I don't trust his role. So yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to take the Kelsey side and just take whatever I can get out of Keenan Allen.
I got Pitts for $1 on the waiver wire just because someone dropped him. I was like, oh, I'll throw $1 at him.
And nobody wanted him.
Nobody wanted him. He was out there he was on waivers because he was dropped on Thursday, and then Fab runs again in our league on Sunday morning. So there was 3 days for people to put in a single dollar bid for Kyle Pitts, and nobody did it. I'm like, okay, if they finally figure out how to use the tight end position, I have a 3rd-round pick for $1 on my team.
Right.
Nice. That's great. And I have $200 of Fab, so it wasn't even 1% of my Fab. It was great. Okay, so I think we're a little split, but
look,
Kelce.
If Kelsey's what you want, I'm all about it. He's the best player in the deal. That's fine. I just feel like that you get significantly weaker at a few other positions, especially at wide receiver. I don't know what wide receivers you're working with here, but trading Higgins and downgrading, in my opinion, to Allen, that's a lot to take.
I feel good. I feel good. So. Ignatius Pennyfeather, the
ninth. I love this name. Absolutely love it.
Sit 1. Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, Damian Pierce, Kenneth Walker, or Breece Hall. He has TJ Hawkinson at tight end. I would sit TJ Hawkinson. No, that's not
right.
You can't sit TJ Hawkinson.
I need one of these other people to have tight end eligibility.
Yeah, you can't sit him. So who are you sitting? Jamar Chase plays Atlanta. CD is home against the Lions. Amon-Ra is in Dallas, obviously. Damian Pierce is in Las Vegas against the Raiders. Kenneth Walker in LA against the Chargers. Breece Hall in Denver against the Broncos. Josh.
God, this feels sacrilegious. But of these, I think I would sit Breece Hall, just based on the matchup.
Joel.
I will sit Pierce because I hate Houston on the road.
I have already said this. I mean, we've mentioned two of my downsides. I have Breece Hall in my downsides because I don't like people going to Denver for the first time. And he's playing, while Denver is one of the shittiest football teams in the league, I think they have a top 10, if not top 5 defense. Either statistically, I mean, personally, I think they are a top 5 defense, but statistically, they might even be up there as well. I don't think Breece Hall has a good week. I really don't. If Josie Jewell's out, without Alex Singleton was speeding across the field on Monday Night Football, 21 tackles. Again, blows my mind Alex Singleton's not the starting linebacker. But I don't like Breece Hall this week.
So Denver.
Remember, they're going to be playing without Elijah Moore. So, I mean, Pat Surtain is going to shut down whoever he get, whether it's Corey Davis or Garrett Wilson. Their secondary is really good. Where else is the Jets going to go? I mean, I think Breece Hall has to be in just on volume alone. I don't expect him to be great, but the volume is going to be there.
Zach Wilson's not dumping off to running back, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're going to have to run the ball. I mean, if they're going to stay in this game, they're going to have to. Their passing offense is going to get shut down.
Yeah, Denver as a run defense is a little overrated. I think they're 12th fewest rushing yards in the NFL, so I mean, it's a lot closer towards middle of the pack versus top of the pack.
I don't know. I don't like it personally. I think Breece Hall doesn't have a good game. Zach Wilson played at BYU, so at altitude he should be fine. But
I will say this for Breece Hall's young career, and he's been really good. We really haven't seen that stinker of a game yet. It's on the horizon. We all know that. Like, he's not going to continually be a top 5 running back every single week.
And last week, if you look at the Jets offense as a whole, it probably should have been last week because their offense was not good last week.
No, it wasn't. He
their
was the offense last week.
Yeah, their defense and special teams. Yeah. But their defense and special teams, I mean, propelled them to victory in that game. Breece Hall again ended up with a very long touchdown run. I don't know. Justin Simmons is back. 1 full week health. Alex Singleton's a menace. Bradley Chubb and I forget the guy opposite him, but 56 looks like an absolute lightning bolt opposite him. Filling in for someone who's injured right now. I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but he looks fantastic on the opposite side. Their D tackles. I also put
it this way too: like you have so much upside built in with Chase and Lamb and
right
Amon-Ra that even if you get the wrong running back into this, you should still be okay.
There probably isn't a wrong answer here.
No, yeah.
You have he said Breece was not the answer he was expecting. So
I mean, there's a chance that CeeDee Lamb is the answer there, just because Dallas just runs the ball all day and he just doesn't get any volume.
And that's fair.
I mean, you've got that's a really good problem.
But that's the thing. How can you realistically say, yeah, I'm going to bench CeeDee Lamb? He leads the NFL in target share.
Right, you can't.
The opportunity
I'm just saying,
for him is.
There's a world where that's the correct answer in that situation.
There's a world where all these guys are the right answer.
Right, exactly.
Remember after like week 2 and people were like, "Oh, you should like CeeDee Lamb's droppable and you should trade him."
Yeah, right. 11 targets, 2 catches. Yeah.
Dang, that was really funny. Oh my goodness! Imagine people gave up on the receiver they said should have been the number 1 over Amari Cooper and was the number 1 consensus, or maybe not consensus, but top 5 dynasty receiver. And people are like, oh, get rid of him. It's over. He can't do it anymore. Really? Really, people? We're hitting the panic button that fast? Okay. All right. Same people that told you to start Cole Kmet and draft him. CJ, Chris, start Pickens or Khalil Herbert in a half PPR. Josh, wait, hold on. George Pickens. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking I'm like Kenny Pickett or Khalil Herbert. This is a weird super flex question. Nope, George Pickens. Kenny Pickett is active. Josh.
Okay. Yeah, give me George Pickens. Miami's secondary is dog shit.
32nd in the league, right? Right? Yeah.
They're pretty bad.
Dang. Oh, well, hold on. Wait, remember who said Xavier Howard was fucking dog shit at the game? Joel.
I think we all know my love for Khalil Herbert, but I don't trust that offense to score against New England. So I'll lean towards Pickens, especially with Pickett back. He's been targeted a hell of a lot more with Pickett than he was with Trubisky. So I'll lean that side.
Yeah, Pickens, because you better cross your fingers he plays on Xavier Howard, because he'll have 3,000 yards against that bum fucking defensive back.
Well, and Howard even playing? He's been out the last couple of weeks.
Oh, thank God. I mean, that's better for Miami if Xavier Howard's out at this point.
Yeah, and Pickett has had no issue saying, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to sling it. So I think for everybody
kind of had to.
Down on, yeah, well, he's had to, absolutely, but they can't run the fucking football. So, right. And Najee's one of the least efficient running backs for as good as he is. He just falls forward and gets 4 yards because he's so damn tall. But like, why would you not want to play Deontay Johnson or George Pickens? Like, I have one rebuilding Dynasty League where I have both Deontay and Pickens, and I'm firing up both of them. Like, fuck it. I have zero issue with it. This is the matchup for it. So,
Scampers in a half PPR sit 1. Curtis Samuel, Juju Doo-Doo, A.J. Dillon, or Kittle. Josh.
For me, as much as my hate for Juju says Juju, I'm going to sit Curtis Samuel. Taylor Heineke's not going to throw to 3 or 4 different wide receivers. He's going to zero in on Terry McLaurin. I think that's going to have a ripple effect on the rest of the team. So I'll sit Samuel here.
Joel.
I agree. I don't like Curtis. I just don't like Curtis Samuel at all, and I don't like him any. I like him even less with Taylor Heineke instead of Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I mean, Juju I also hate, but it's Curtis Samuel. There's just no way. It's Taylor Heineke will be throwing to McLaurin. Josh said it. He's throwing to Terry McLaurin. He realizes, oh my goodness, this guy, top receiver, we should maybe throw to him. Carson Wentz is like, oh my God, that guy? De'Ami Brown. Yeah, him. Really? It's a head scratcher there, Carson. That's why your team's fucking 2-4 in just barely escaped the Bears. Okay. Oh my God, there's a lot in the chat. Here we go. Flex Kenyon Drake or DJ Moore. I mean, just accept defeat. Josh?
I mean, to be fair, it's a brutal bye week, so I mean, his opponent
really
suck
is,
too. So
no, it is. My brother was contemplating not starting a tight end this week, so yes, it is bad. Josh?
I honestly both have really good matchups, and DJ Moore's probably staring down about a 60% target share. Let's be real here.
Peppered. I mean, they might all be within -7 yards of the line of scrimmage. But who cares? A catch, if it's standard, then you're fucked. But if it's PPR, DJ Moore might have 17 points.
Catches for.
Well, no, he might have 17.
24 yards.
He'll have 17 points. He'll break the NFL single game record of 21 catches. He'll have 23 catches, but it'll be for like -20 yards because they'll all be behind the line of scrimmage. But he'll have 23 catches. So.
Oh man.
I'm going DJ Moore. I already said I have Kenyon Drake on my downsides. It's a division matchup. I don't know. Don't like it.
Yeah, I think I would go DJ Moore too.
He's the
I'm
only
also a DJ Moore
town.
lover. So, what did you say, Joel? Sorry.
I don't trust
I said
PJ Walker. That's just me.
I don't either, but DJ Moore's the only show in town. I mean, they're not going to be able to run. They're going to get behind. The targets are going to be there.
You're telling me training camp Darlin Shy Smith, the new Steve Smith, okay? He's not going to take over?
Terrace Marshall time.
Didn't he drop a pass last week right in his hands?
Probably.
Dang.
It's what he does.
That LSU wide receiver class. Well, again, Jamar and I think they came out at different times, but Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and it was like, oh, Terrace Marshall, the Panthers got a steal. No, negative. Scamper says confirmed. He did drop a pass. It is confirmed he did drop a pass. And to his question, half PPR, who would you start? Garrett Wilson over Kareem Hunt or CMC this week? Garrett Wilson probably sees Surtain. I know Joel brought up that Corey Davis might, but Corey Davis could see either three of us and he still wouldn't get open.
Right.
So it's probably going to be Garrett Wilson who will be seeing Patrick Surtain, and he might be the best one-on-one cover corner in the NFL right now. Josh.
I think you can take the mic off there. He is.
Yeah.
I'm not starting Garrett Wilson at all. I think I'm starting him in one dynasty league because I literally have to, but I'm avoiding him at all costs this week.
So here's obviously, like, if McCaffrey doesn't play, you have to start Garrett Wilson. That's like you're just required. But if McCaffrey is on a red zone snap count in a limited package, or
even one trip to the red zone for McCaffrey is better than potentially 10 targets for Garrett Wilson this week.
100%.
Yep.
I agree. And Ignatius Pennyfeather says Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. So
go Justin Jefferson or Juju? Jefferson's off, so I think you probably he's Juju.
No. He's just, we were talking about LSU.
LSU receivers and how Reagor was drafted over. Yeah. Hey.
Right.
Go.
That's all right. Go. Billy course corrected. We're good now. So
go Horned Frogs. Go Horned Frogs. Yes. TCU. Yes. Jalen Reagor, ironically the best wide receiver to ever come out of TCU. If you know. Didn't he catch a touchdown for the Vikings the other week? Pretty sure he found the end zone.
No, he ran one in. It was an end around.
Oh, because he can't catch. That makes more sense. I mean, he can't even punt return. This is really bad. I gotta say, guys, if there's any more questions, we don't have any more right now. So, I mean, we still have about 20 minutes left for you guys. Anything else you guys have? I know we've had a lot of trade questions recently. I don't know how many more trade questions we can get, unless we have any new people in here. But keep dropping them in. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, any reactions to Thursday night? Andy Dalton's like half garbage. Marquez Callaway's full garbage, but Andy Dalton's like half garbage because that second interception.
I honestly, with all of the wide receivers that were out for New Orleans, I expected Callaway to at least make a small step up. And from what I saw, like on a replay, because I missed the second half of the game, which of course was the best half of the game, there wasn't really a lot of action for him. It was kind of disappointing, in all honesty.
Well,
the big takeaway is DeAndre Hopkins and his target volume. That was massive. I mean, does he jump right back into a wide receiver one? He almost has to. He's had 6 weeks off to chill and not be hurt, not take the beating of an NFL schedule.
I think Kyler Murray might have forgot he was in the lineup until the second half because he threw a fade ball to 4'11" Rondale Moore, who pushed off and still couldn't catch the football until he was 13 yards out of bounds because he can't catch. And then he's like, oh my God, that's DeAndre Hopkins, other side.
Well, it looked like on that play originally, you saw Kyler looking at DeAndre.
Yeah, and he had no fucking clue what he was doing.
Yeah, like D-Hop was like, wait, what's going on here? So I think that's ultimately why Kyler went that way, was because they just weren't on the same page. But then, like, the whole screaming match between Kyler and Kingsbury on the sideline, I felt that was about 3 years too late. Like, that's... I would have been questioning Kingsbury's play calling from the moment I got drafted, but that's just me.
I mean, they also had, like, 3 delay game penalties, or close to delay game penalties. They had to call a couple timeouts, but...
Kingsbury couldn't make up his mind which bad play he wanted to call, so...
Oh, yes, spam again. Sexchat69.site. Oh my goodness. Everyone, click on the link. Wendy asks, is Gus Edwards worth a bench spot?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, sure. I don't fucking whatever.
I mean, you could throw him on your IR. I mean, with Dobbins out 4 to 6 weeks now. I mean, as long as Edwards is healthy, he's going to get first run. And, I understand it's going to be a committee and he's not much of a pass catcher, but, he's a running back in the NFL at this point. He's worth it. Especially, like I said, because you can stash him on IR. So
they're going to have games where he just gets, he becomes the run out the clock guy and he gets a ton of carries. Yep. They trust him. I mean, do they trust Kenyon Drake? Do they trust Mike Davis? Probably not. So he's going to be their number one back. It's a loss. This is turning into a lost season for Dobbins. I mean, he's going to go back in and be their number one back.
Snarky all the time, Wendy. Don't you worry.
Today.
Snarky. It's way more fun. It's way more fun. Yeah, he's a running back in the NFL. I mean,
it's just it boils down to that running backs get hurt. And it's always next man up mentality. So, 100%. With Gus Edwards being that, the theoretical second guy on the totem pole, and with that top guy hurt, whenever Edwards comes back, he's going to be the guy. So he's going to get.
And it sounds like he's close. I mean, he's probably going to be active by next week. He has to be active by next week.
Yep.
I'll answer this. Do not sit Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Not at all. Especially, find what you can and get rid of Hawkinson. That's what I would suggest.
You could have the entire Detroit Lions starting offense on your team. You're still playing Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah, you 100% never. Amon-Ra is a non-sit until further notice at this point. From Luis, Deontay Johnson or Brandon Cooks. I feel like this is a consensus, Deontay, just based on how we've been talking today. Yeah. Yes, Joel says it's like Houston on the road, so that one's pretty simple there. Yeah, Deontay there. I'm starting him in a league as well. From Mike25, Tony Pollard, Latavius Murray, or Deonta Foreman in a PPR. So I think from recent talks, it's between Pollard and Murray, and I think this one is going to be a Pollard all around. Josh?
Correct. Give me Pollard.
Joel?
I like Pollard and Zeke this week. I don't think they're going to want it. I think the game script should go in their way, and I don't think they're going to want to give Prescott a ton of throws in this game, his first game back. I think you're going to ease him in. So I think Pollard and Zeke are both viable starts.
Yeah. Mike, 1, thank you for the question. 2, is it considered texting and driving if you're commenting and driving? That's the question. That's the question.
As long as it's talk to text, we're good. Drive safe, buddy.
It's commenting and driving. So, there you go. Law loopholes. From Mark, who will be better rest of the season, Amon-Ra St. Brown or Jalen Waddell? Josh?
Most consistent will be Amon-Ra, and I don't think that's much of a question. Who ends up with the better stats could very well end up being Waddle, just because he's so damn good after the catch.
Joel?
I mean, that's a good problem to have. I like them both. I love them both. I think Amon-Ra gets the more volume. I think Waddle has the more explosiveness. I don't think you can go wrong either way. I hope you're not dropping one.
I would think that he's asking this because he's considering a trade. That would be my guess.
If you could guarantee me
fantasy football, there are no guarantees.
I know. Well, here's my thing. My answer's Amon-Ra, but if you could guarantee me Tua's healthy the rest of the year,
that's fair.
I might lean Waddle. But if you're giving me the QB carousel of Tua, Teddy, and Skylar Thompson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 100%.
Well, and that's why I say I think Amon-Ra is going to ultimately be the most consistent. Yeah. But I don't really see a lot of 11 catch, 170 yard performances out of Amon-Ra. You might get 11 catches, but I don't think you're getting 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's just not his game.
Yeah.
He'd be more like 11 for 100, 11 for 110 maybe, if that.
Oh, yeah,
like he's just not a high yak guy. He's not a high yards per reception guy.
God, imagine 21 points, no bonus points, not even accounting for touchdowns. Jeez, whew. God, what a bad receiver.
Right?
Jeez, imagine that. Imagine. All right, from George, would you trade Miles Sanders for Chris Godwin or Mike Williams? Not sure what Sanders' value is at this point. Josh.
I don't really love trading running backs for wide receivers. We talk about this a lot on Wednesdays, No Punt Intended. For me, it really depends on my depth at running back. Like, if I'm assuming Sanders is probably your 3. But even then, that's still really good depth for a position that is always hit hard by injuries. We don't know what Keenan Allen's gonna look like when he comes back. If he's Keenan Allen of old, then sure, that's gonna take a hit for Mike Williams. Godwin's dealt with injuries. I would probably hold on to Miles Sanders here, but I think this is probably about the value that you would look at with Sanders. He is a top 12 running back in points per game. He's been consistent, and they're using him, and he's actually scoring touchdowns. So, that in and of itself is going to have value from a. Okay, so Sanders is expendable. He's got Barkley, DeAndre Swift,
Kenneth Walker, and Dameon
Pierce. Okay, if you're all right, he's expendable. I would probably prefer Godwin here over Mike Williams. And I think that's fair value.
Yeah, if you think you get rid of him, I would go Godwin. I mean, maybe even try for a healthier receiver, but
that's fair too. All right, well, let's look at points per game here for wide receivers, and let's play your favorite game, Joe.
Okay. Yay. Yeah, I mean, Mike Williams makes me want to punch a hole through my drywall because he's so inconsistent, but when Godwin's healthy, he's consistent. It's just his health has been a major issue this year.
All right, so right now, Miles Sanders, 14.6 points per game, currently RB 15 in points per game. Guys around, we'll start at the 15 range for wide receivers.
Okay.
AJ Brown, 13, 15.9. Obviously, you would take AJ Brown here. Yeah. Jacoby Myers, 15.7.
Jacoby Myers in a heartbeat.
Joel.
With that running back depth, yeah, I would take Myers for sure.
Olave, 15.6.
Olave.
Mike Evans, 15.6.
Mike Evans.
Gabe Davis, 15.3.
Miles Sanders. Fuck Gabe Davis.
If you need a receiver, I would take Davis there.
Okay. Well, now here comes a few interesting names because they're bigger names. But again, when you look at kind of that point value and the value overall at the position, Deebo Samuel, 15.2.
Deebo, not even close.
Amari Cooper, 15.
Cooper.
God, I hate Amari Cooper, but yeah.
CD
I would take Godwin.
15.6.
I'd rather have Godwin than Cooper, but yeah, Lamb for sure.
CeeDee Lamb.
Okay. Well, and this is kind of the point that I'm getting at. Like, if you had CeeDee Lamb, I don't think you're going to get Miles Sanders. But if that team really needs a running back, realistically, the point values are the exact same.
Yeah, if you came at me with a trade of CeeDee Lamb for Miles Sanders, I'd laugh in your face. That's the issue. Like, that's not...
You'd have to throw something in.
Yeah, you need to throw something in at that point. Like, you know how you pay a little extra for, like, the Barilla pasta instead of the Great Value pasta? It's because the name, kind of. Are they almost the same thing? Maybe. But, like, you're paying for the name a little bit. Like, you're not getting Great Value ketchup. You're getting Heinz. Heinz ketchup.
Alan Lazard, 14.5.
No.
Who the fuck else are they throwing to? I mean, granted, Lazard. They can't. I don't understand that Green Bay offense, but Lazard somehow seems to know where the end zone is weekly. So
he does have 4 touchdowns on the year.
It's crazy.
Tyler Lockett, 14.4.
Yes. Everyone in Seattle is a must start until further notice. DK, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker, Geno Smith, must starts.
If I had Sanders, I would want someone better than Lockett in return. I mean, I'm fine with moving Sanders. If it's Sanders or Lockett, I want someone better.
All right, well, I'll kind of pick and choose down here. So, all right, Mike Williams, 13.8.
Garbage. No.
Cortland Sutton, 13.4.
No. I want Godwin.
I would say, yeah. I would rather probably Godwin over Sutton at this point, but I would be okay with Sutton. His
DK, 13.1.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. T. Higgins, 12.4.
100%.
Higgins.
Godwin, 11.8.
Godwin.
We already answered that question.
I know, but I'm showing you the point differentials here is really what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, some of these guys are likely going to get better. So you can throw out some offers, maybe try to get a DK Metcalf, try to get a T. Higgins, try to get, shoot for the moon, go for CD Lamb. They're scoring the same amount of points.
Yeah, hey, yeah, shoot for the moon and just,
I don't think you have to settle for Chris Godwin. That's kind of what I was getting at.
If you need a receiver, I think the move there is to package a couple of those guys and get a DK and a CD Lamb and another
Sanders
piece.
And one of your wide receivers.
Sanders and Pierce and get something, package Sanders and Pierce and get a CD Lamb or something.
It's irrelevant. He traded Miles Sanders and Isaiah McKenzie for Mike Evans. There you go. Congratulations, you won. Congratulations, you won.
Yep.
Easy.
It's one of the guys we talked about, Mike Evans. Perfect. See, the game worked.
Smash.
Ignatius says he wants to sit CD. Please don't. He's playing the worst defense in football. Please don't. I beg of you. He's playing the worst defense in football. Is Josh Reynolds okay if he plays as a flex, Josh?
I think he's okay. I don't think he's going to be great.
I mean, that was the question. Is he okay?
Exactly.
Joel?
He's okay.
Even
but
in
it also
this
depends on your other options.
Yeah, even in this horrendous bye week, I would think you got to have someone better than Josh Reynolds. I would hope. I mean, maybe by apocalypse and you just don't, but yeah, it's not someone I want to play.
If you need to, Detroit's going to have to throw the football. So
he may get Trayvon Diggs, so that's always a positive.
Oh, that's even fucking better. Are you kidding me? If he gets Trayvon Diggs, what do you mean? That's so much better. Trayvon Diggs will trail 17 yards behind him and try and make an interception on a thrown ball.
Right. They may put Diggs on Khalif Raymond or something like that, so you never know.
Yeah, they got to boost his stats,
Well, I mean, if Khalif Raymond has Trayvon Diggs, I mean, Khalif Raymond could burn him, so it's probably not good. But, girls, what's Kenyon Drake's current trade value in Dynasty PPR? He will be 29 after the year, so if you can trade him for, like, a 4th-round pick, you're getting way more value than if you just drop him. So I can't imagine there's value for Kenyon Drake.
Well, I think if you look, like Scott Connor says, a 3rd-round pick is worth a start or two. So and he's going to get a start or two. So he's probably worth a late 3rd. If that's something you're interested in.
Situations like this, I always try to shoot for like 2/3, knowing that the value is 1. So if I start a little higher and I just settle for the 1/3, I'm okay with that. That's typically how I approach guys like Kenyon Drake, because obviously contenders are the ones that are buying them. It's not somebody that's in a rebuild.
JAC. Guy wants to trade me Stephon Diggs and Dak for Jalen Hurts and Tyler Lockett. I know he should take the trade, but just can't because Hurts has been so good to me. And it has been a crude year for QBs. His backup is Geno. He's asking if he should take it. He just put Hollywood Brown on the IR, and his other receivers are Keenan Allen, Judy, and Mike Evans. So, again, he's getting Diggs over Lockett. I mean, at this point, it's Diggs has been better than Lockett, Hurts has been better than Dak. What side do you like more, Josh?
I'm going to take Hurts and Lockett. I mean, Diggs has been fucking phenomenal, but that to me is just such a gap between Hurts and Dak at the quarterback position. And I don't really like trading quarterbacks in deals unless I absolutely am desperate for a quarterback, and you're not desperate for a quarterback.
Joel.
I think this really comes down to, is it super flex or not? I mean, if it's super flex and the replacement value of a quarterback is really high, then I want Hurts.
I would assume
if it's a single quarterback, if it's a single quarterback, then you can get by with Dak and a replacement, and then I think Diggs is a significant upgrade over Lockett.
I am gonna stick with the Hurts side. I don't know, man. Dak can just get hurt again, and yes, you have Geno Smith, but it also does feel like Geno can just have his bad days at points, even though I'm on the Geno's a must-start train now at this point. I'm going to stick with Hurts. He's just been the more sure bet. Obviously, the rushing upside heavily lies with Hurts out of everyone here. And yes, you are playing up and down games with Lockett. I'd still have hope for Keenan. I get it. He probably won't come back until week 9 because he's going to take this week off again, by week 8, come back week 9. If you're not ready after 8.5 weeks of milking a hamstring injury, then Keenan Allen gave all of us the middle finger, essentially. But he should be more than ready to go, and you'll have an entire second half of him, including playoffs if you make it that far, but you're at least going to have him for 5 regular season games.
Yeah, and Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett, that's a good trio, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good trio. Yeah, thank God you didn't add Jerry Jeudy into that mix, so that's great.
I'm not stupid.
Thank you. Czar, should I drop Latavius Murray for Deonta Foreman? He lost Javonte. He has Eckler, Kenyon Drake, and Melvin Gordon's bitch ass. Facts. You should drop Melvin Gordon for Deonta Foreman. And I
go that far.
I full on mean that. That is not a joke. I full on mean that. You don't drop Latavius Murray. You're dropping Melvin Gordon for Deonta Foreman. And I firmly stand by that take. 100% you're dropping Melvin Gordon for Deonta Foreman. Latavius Murray
I would drop
ran better.
I would drop either of the Broncos. I would drop either of the Broncos running backs for Foreman.
There you go. So Melvin Gordon for Foreman. We got 2 on that train. Josh?
I want nothing to do with that Panthers offense. I mean, I've added Foreman in a couple places. Same thing with Hubbard, but it's been for a 7th wide receiver. I'm not dropping another running back for him. They are the worst situation for running backs right now. And neither Hubbard nor Foreman are exponentially great.
Look,
good for that matter.
Czar, look at me. Ready? You and me right now. Okay? I want you to look at the names you listed.
All right, whose name did you... Look at Joe. Okay. Look at Joe.
Whose name did you add bitch ass next to? That's the guy you're dropping. Okay, thank you for coming to my webinar. Mike, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow, Zay Jones in the flex and a PPR. Josh.
Myers, and I don't think it's particularly close.
Joel.
Agreed 100%. It's Myers in a landslide.
Yeah. The greatest slot receiver in the NFL, Jacoby Myers. Might be a stretch, but fantastic. Yeah, Jacoby Myers. She said she has Foreman, Rashad White, and Kenyon Drake for the flex spot. In comparison to the Josh Reynolds ask, so would you play any of those guys over Josh Reynolds? I think the only guy might be Rashad White.
I would play White. To say that's a home run start for White this week, because you have got to think that there's going to be some garbage time, and that garbage.
It's going to be an entire half of garbage time.
Yeah. And I mean, even if it's not, they've been working him in, getting him a lot more snaps, and still giving a good amount of volume to Fournette. And this is a defense that just sucks against the run. So even in 10 carries, Rashad White could have 70 yards and a touchdown. And that's not including any reception work that he gets. I would much rather take White over Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, Rashad White, 100%. Mike, Stevenson, Walker, or A.J. Dillon in a flex. So it's really probably Stevenson or Walker would be my 2 probably top contenders here. Green Bay's just been doggy doo-doo. Josh?
I do love Stevenson this week, but give me Walker.
Joel?
They're saying Damian Harris is good to go, so Ali will take Walker in the undisputed backfield to himself.
Yeah, I will also take Walker. I love Stevenson. I forget if I'm playing Dillon or not. I might just be forced to play him due to buys.
That's the only reason I'm playing him. I mean, I'm a Packer fan, and I don't want any part of him. There's some places I have to, but
he has a good matchup. Like, the Commanders aren't good.
No, they're bad.
Like, you got
like, this is. We said it. Or I said it with Judy. Like, if there's a week that Dillon's gonna go, it's this one. But
if there's a week, both fucking running backs are gonna go.
I have no idea what the Packers are doing. Like, they're not running.
This is an Aaron Rodgers problem. This is 100% Aaron Rodgers problem. Is he does not want to run the ball. You can just run a full box against him, and he will not run. Despite the fact that they need to be a running team, and you need to at least show that you will run the ball, he will not do it. They're 100% predictable. You cannot start A.J. Dillon right now.
Which
as good a matchup as it is.
Which is fucking nuts because Aaron Jones is your best player.
Yes.
And also,
your two best offensive players are running backs, and you have an offensive line that's better at blocking for the run than blocking for the pass. They need to be a run-first team, but their quarterback will not let them let that happen.
And
it's a problem. They're too predictable.
It's absolutely hilarious that they're still not even utilizing Aaron Jones enough in the passing game.
No.
So, that's so dumb.
100%.
All right, last few here that we run through. Perfect Black, London or Drake London, Robert Woods, Josh?
I'm going to reluctantly say Robert Woods. Neither have really good matchups, but no one is throwing less than Atlanta. So give me Woods.
Joel?
I think they can probably scheme London onto Eli Apple, so I'll take London.
Yeah, I will take Drake London on Eli Apple. Carrington. Hey, man. Trade offer in Dynasty. PPR. Ramondre, DK, in an early 2023 third for Breece Hall.
If
you need to get more than that for Breece, he's worth at least 2 firsts.
Well, you got to figure DK is worth at least 1.
Yeah, but Ramondre in a third is not.
No, that's fair.
I mean, he's the number 1 running back in Dynasty right now, so you got to get way more than that.
Yeah. What if that third changed to a first?
Then it's team dependent.
Because
if it's an early first, DK and Ramondre for Breece, I'm doing it. If it's a late first, I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if it's an early third, that means he has an early first. If it's a snake.
More likely, yeah.
If it's an early first, yes.
Rookie drafts aren't snakes, though. Very rarely are rookie draft snakes.
Yeah. I mean, if it's an early first, I would do it because the running back class was solid this year. The running back class next year is gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
And if that early first sometime turns into the 101 and you get Bijan Robinson, he's kind of good, guys.
And if it's a super flex and you can get Jahmyr Gibbs or something like that at 5, then yeah, that's pretty stellar too. So yeah, but I mean, there's a huge difference between an early first and an early third. So that offer as it stands is not close.
I will say I do believe that Ramondre's value is only going to go up because I don't expect Damian Harris to re-sign with New England next year. I honestly think, and this is probably one of my very, very early 2023 hot takes, I think Damian Harris lands in Las Vegas with the Raiders next year.
Yeah, they're going to replace him. They're going to draft somebody else.
No, I mean they will.
Give that back to Ramondre.
Dude, Ramondre is good, and
I love him.
Are we sure? He can handle the workload.
Yeah, he's big enough, and they drafted Pierre Strong. If they really like him, that could ultimately be their top 2 next year. So,
dude, if Ramondre Stevenson is the lone back,
it's to the moon.
Look out.
You can't count on that ever happening, though. You can't.
No, because it's a Bill Belichick fucking offense. But if we get Corey Dillon for a year, we can all rejoice. Like that would be great. Or hell, LeGarrette Blount. I mean, this dude is built like LeGarrette Blount. He's shiftier, quicker, faster, lighter on his feet, and can run over you just like Blount.
Yeah. And can catch the ball.
That's the thing, though. With Ramondre, there is a lot of speculation, though. So I would definitely, you got to get more than a third in this deal.
100%. You need a first. The only speculation because he's in the New England offense. If he was in any other offense with a consistent backfield, there would be zero speculation on this guy. It is because he's in a New England offense. So trust the skill. His skill is 100% there. And I understand Bill does like rotating his running backs, but when Damian Harris was out, who else carried the football?
No.
Nobody. Because he realizes, one, he didn't really have a backup. But two, Ramondre Stevenson is that guy. He can handle it. Chris.
Well, here's the buzzkill take. And
go ahead.
We know that Belichick loves Alabama guys. What if he just drafts Jahmyr Gibbs? That's just
that'd be a dick move.
It's a dynasty heartburn all week.
That'd be a dick move. Because I traded, I think, a third for Ramondre Stevenson before the season. So it's looking nice right now. Chris, 3 receivers, who should I start out of Sutton, Evans, Pierce, McLaurin, Cook? So basically, which 2 are you sitting, Josh?
Definitely Sutton. Probably Cooks.
Joel?
I will take Evans, Cooks, and man, I think McLaurin's going to get targets, but he's going to get a lot of Jair Alexander. I don't think they're going to be good targets. I'll take Pierce.
I'm going to sit Sutton and Cooks. Evans, we already talked about Carolina's defense. I think McLaurin gets peppered. Some of them might be bad, but I think he gets peppered. And, weird to say, but Alec Pierce might be a start now because Matt Ryan's third in the NFL in passing yards.
37 or more pass attempts in the last 4 games.
How is that bum arm and body still doing that? That's unbelievable. Cam Cummings, would you trade DK and Kenneth Walker for Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore in a standard league? He has Olave and AJ Brown, Chubb and Brees receivers. So he would be getting Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore, losing DK and Kenneth Walker. He'd be pairing McCaffrey with Chubb and Brees Hall, pairing DJ Moore with Olave and AJ Brown. Josh, in a standard.
I think I'd actually rather have DK and Ken Walker in a standard league.
Joel?
In a standard league, right now, DJ Moore has 0 value. So it's got to be
none.
DK and Walker.
Yeah, if you can get a wide receiver with more upside in the touchdown department, I would heavily lean the Christian McCaffrey side. But you talk about dudes with touchdown upside, DK Metcalf might be at the top of the list for receivers in terms of touchdown upside.
Yep.
So DK, obviously, is a big play guy. Kenneth Walker, I think Joel said it earlier, there's no competition for him in that backfield.
None.
He's very clearly the most skilled running back, and he found the end zone last week. And also, you don't need an extra, top dog running back because Chubb is there. And
Brees.
Chubb and Brees.
Yeah.
Walker's a flex at best in that lineup.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you're good sticking with where you're at unless you can go and get a comparable touchdown upside receiver to DK Metcalf. But keep your roster as it is. George says he owns Burrow, but start 2 rest of the season between A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, and Mike Evans. I know we're not big rest of the season people, but out of all these guys, who do you like the least amount rest of the season? I personally, it's Higgins just because of injury concern.
That's probably where I would go to.
Yeah.
Evans is going to have his up and down weeks. And, with Godwin being so featured in that offense. So I think really this boils down to you're going to start A.J. Brown pretty much every week from here on out. And you're going to waffle back and forth between Higgins and Evans.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
Higgins is the only one who isn't a clear number 1.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Last thing on Keenan, he's probably going to sit this week. He'll take a bye in week 8, and then he'll come back for the second half in week 9.
Yeah,
Ryan's not here. Ryan and I are the biggest Keenan Allen guys on the face of the planet. We both have him on our teams. Josh, I think you have Keenan Allen on a team. I forget.
I do have Allen on one team, but I also have Mike Evans on that team. So
yeah, so it's
Williams. Excuse me.
It's tough. It's hard, but
support group meets every Wednesday at 7:00 on No Punt.
Yeah,
Shameless plug.
and Carrington's normally there. So
exactly.
well, on this on Keenan. He is, you could argue the second best route runner in the NFL behind Devontae Adams. I think Adams is one. Kupp.
I think there's a lot of people you could put in that conversation. Stephon Diggs being another one.
Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley when he's not gambling. Like, there's a lot of guys, but
even Amari Cooper's really fucking good running routes.
Yes, and Amari Cooper's smooth with it. Devonta Smith is good too. They're they're in a smooth category. Diggs is also in the smooth category. Adams, Kupp, Keenan Allen. They're not, jagged's the wrong word, but they're just so aggressive with their cuts.
Yeah.
And they don't run traditional. They don't run it traditionally. Like when they come off the line, they're not a jolt off the line. They are a shake and bake, and I'm going to make you miss off the line. Like, I'm crossing you over. See ya. When he's healthy, Keenan Allen will get peppered with 35% of the passing targets in a game in that offense. Because he's open. And also, he tends to not drop the football. And he's probably their number one red zone option because Mike Williams is just the fade guy, and Keenan Allen is consistently open. You have to trust Keenan Allen. It's not like he tore his meniscus, which at this point, he probably would have been out less time if he tore his meniscus.
He's just 30, and ligaments don't bounce back the way they used to.
That's just the problem with old players. They get hurt more often, and they take longer to recover. That's the risky run. He is basically the new Julio Jones.
Oh, tough. Yes, because Rondale Moore can't catch, Greg Dortch is a bum, Hollywood Brown's on the IR, and Robbie Anderson sucks. He's the number 2 target.
I feel like this question comes. I feel like
you
this
can't name 5 better tight ends
because
facts.
The Saints slowed down Zach Ertz. The Saints are really good against tight ends. I brought this up on Wednesday. I did not think Ertz would have top 12, top 15 upside this week. Don't worry about this week. Zach Ertz will be fine.
Yeah, he'll be. They threw to Rondale Moore in the first quarter, and I don't think he had a target after that because Kyler Murray realized how bad of a fucking receiver he is.
They made the mistake of putting someone who's 4'7" on the outside. Like, you don't fucking do that. He is a slot wide receiver. You play him in the slot. It is not hard, Cliff Kingsbury.
Smart. Texas Tech. Smart.
The question there is how long do they wait before they realize they have to eat that contract and move on? You made the mistake of giving him an extension. Cut your losses. You're going to have to pay him no matter what. Why are you putting a bad coach on the field? You have to pay that contract. It's a sunk cost. Fire him and get somebody in. This was the perfect week, right? You had the long week. It should have happened yesterday.
Been saying it since they hired him. So
yeah.
Ugh. Dog shit. Okay. That's everything, folks. Thanks for joining. Another good starts at different day. Joel, thanks for joining. Second time this year, right? On this one?
Second or third, something like that.
Second or third? Something like that.
Yeah, I think I did one when you were off. So
yes, that would do. Second time with me. Awesome. Everyone, thank you. Good fucking luck tomorrow. That's all I can say at this point.
Remember, it's October, not August.
Happy August 22nd. Go enjoy your August 23rd tomorrow. Games officially kick off 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. Hawaiian time. I can't do the math for Japan. That's really hard.
I'll hit the video on the way out, Joe.
Oh, you'll hit okay, you're going to hit the video. Great. Yeah. Thank you, Josh. I wasn't done with everything, but yeah, sure. When I wrap up, you can hit the video. Thanks. For the One Hudsonian, for the Joel Worth. No, that's literally his Twitter handle, the Joel Worth. And myself at Joe_Zollo. You can follow Club Fantasy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Club Fantasy FFL. The URL is clubfantasyffl.com. Always remember, defense wins championships, offense wins fantasy football. We will see you on Starts at Different Day next week.